I want you to close your eyes for a moment, wherever you are, and just listen. Not with your ears. With whatever part of you still remembers what it feels like to be loved the way it was always supposed to feel. Because what I am about to say, I am not saying to the world. I am saying it to you. There is a version of love that gets talked about so casually these days that people forget how sacred it actually is. People throw the word around like it costs nothing, like it does not demand anything of them, like it is just a feeling that shows up and stays out of habit. But I've never believed that. I've always believed love is something you build, something you choose, something you protect on purpose over and over, on the good days and the impossibly hard ones. And everything I am about to tell you is not a theory. It is what I have carried in my chest for as long as I can remember, quietly, faithfully, waiting for the right person to finally hand it to. I believe love should be honest before it is anything else. Not the kind of honesty that is convenient, not the kind that only shows up when it is safe or easy, but the kind that stands in front of you shaking and says the truth anyway, because you deserve to know what is really in my chest. Not the version I edited to protect myself. I never wanted to give you a performance of love. I wanted to give you the real, unfiltered, sometimes messy truth of it, because you are worth more than a rehearsed version of my heart. I believe love should be spoken. Not assumed, not implied, not left to guesswork while you lie awake wondering if you still matter. A love that does not talk, that does not check in, that does not ask how are you, really, and then actually wait for the answer, is a love that is slowly starving without anyone admitting it. I never wanted silence to be the language between us. I wanted words. I wanted late-night conversations that meant something. I wanted to know your fears just as much as I wanted to know your joys, because loving you was never about the highlight reel. It was about all of it. I believe love should be effort, and I do not mean grand gestures that only show up for anniversaries or apologies. I mean the small, unnoticed, unglamorous kind of effort. The kind where you still choose to show up on the exhausting days. The kind where you remember the little things she'd never even asked you to remember. The kind where loving someone becomes a daily decision, not a feeling you wait around for. I never wanted to love you only when it was easy. I wanted to love you especially when it wasn't. Because that is where love proves whether it was ever real to begin with. I believe love should be patient. Achingly, deliberately patient. The kind that does not rush someone's healing or punish them for the pace of their own heart. I believe in giving someone room to be human, to be scared, to be inconsistent sometimes, without treating it as a reason to walk away. I never wanted to be the kind of love that demands perfection. I wanted to be the kind of love that says, take your time, I am not going anywhere. Even when every part of me wanted the closeness immediately, I believe love should be respectful, not as a rule, but as a reflex. Respecting her opinions, even when they differ from mine. Respecting her boundaries without making her feel guilty for having them. Respecting her past without using it as a weapon in an argument. Respecting her voice, especially when it says no. Love without respect is not love. It is just attachment wearing a disguise. And I never wanted to give you a counterfeit. I believe love should be safe. I believe a woman should never have to brace herself before telling the man who loves her something vulnerable. She should never have to calculate whether her feelings will be mocked, dismissed, or used against her later. I wanted to be the place you exhaled in, not another place you had to defend yourself in. I believe love should be reciprocal, that it should never be one person constantly reaching while the other stays comfortably still. I do not believe in loving someone into exhaustion while they never once turn around to ask if I am tired too. Real love mirrors itself. It gives back. It notices the imbalance and corrects it. Instead of taking the giving for granted until there is nothing left to give, I believe love should be intimate, not only physically, but emotionally, spiritually, in ways that go far deeper than touch. Intimacy is being fully known and still fully wanted. It is letting someone see you without your armor and having them stay. It's not despite what they saw, but because of the courage it took to show them. I never wanted a surface-level closeness with you. I wanted the kind of intimacy where our silences were as comfortable as our conversations. I believe love should make room for vulnerability without punishing it. There's nothing more terrifying than opening your chest to another person and hoping they do not use what they find inside against you later. I believe when someone hands you their fear, their shame, their quiet insecurities, that moment should be treated like something holy, something to file away for the next disagreement. I never wanted you to regret being soft with me. I wanted your softness to feel like the safest thing you ever gave anyone. I believe love should be loyal, quietly and completely. Not loyalty as a performance for others to witness, but loyalty in the private moments no one applauds. Loyal in thought. Loyal in intention. Loyal even when tempted, even when tired, even when it would be easier not to be. I believe love should be forgiving. Not naive, not a doormat, but willing to extend grace the way we hope grace is extended to us. Nobody loves perfectly. Nobody gets it right every single time. I believe real love makes room for mistakes without using them as ammunition, because the goal was never to keep score. The goal was always to grow together. I believe love should be growth, not stagnation. A love that pushes you gently to become the best version of yourself, not through criticism, but through belief. I wanted you to become more free, more confident, more yourself, because I loved you, not less of yourself, in order to keep me comfortable. I believe love should be present, fully, hopelessly present. Not half distracted, not 1 foot out the door, not loving someone while mentally rehearsing an exit. I wanted to be there, completely there, in the mundane Tuesday afternoons, just as much as in the unforgettable nights. I believe love should be protective, not controlling. There is a difference, and I always knew it. Protective of her peace. Protective of her heart. Protective of her name, even when she was not in the room to defend it herself. I believe love should be devoted. In the old, almost forgotten sense of the word. Devotion that does not need external proof to keep believing. Devotion that stays soft, even in a world that keeps telling us to protect ourselves by staying guarded. I never wanted to love you with one hand on the exit. I wanted to love you the way people used to love before love became something people were afraid to fully give. I believe love should be tender, even in disagreement, even in frustration, because raising your voice was never supposed to mean losing your gentleness. I believe two people can disagree fiercely and still speak to each other like they are precious, because that is what real partners do. They fight for understanding, not for winning. This is who I am. I am the man who still believes in loving with everything, in spite of every reason the world gives me not to. I still believe in loving a woman fully, in the passion and the ache of it, in the joy and the discomfort of it. Because loving her, understanding her, and making her happy was never a burden to me. It was the most natural thing I have ever done. I know the world has taught so many people to guard their hearts, to love halfway just in case, to keep one hand ready to pull back the moment things get difficult. And I understand why. I understand the fear. But I never wanted to love you from a distance, carefully, cautiously, with a part of myself always held in reserve. I wanted to love you the way people write songs about, the way people cry about in old films, the way that terrifies you a little because it is so complete. I wanted to be reckless with my devotion, not because I did not think it through, but because I thought about it endlessly and decided you were worth every risk anyway. I did not write this to prove anything. I wrote it because somewhere inside me there is a version of love I have never stopped believing in. And I needed you to know exactly what that looks like, because it was always meant for you, and it still is.